Hey y'all, welcome back. This is my monthly budget update for the end of January of 2020. Didn't hear at the start of the year, I set myself a budget of $75 a month. This is going to cover clothes, it's going to cover skincare, body care, makeup, yarn, books, but not things like pens or work things. I work in costume. It's a very particular job, so that's really doesn't count because I wouldn't necessarily use that stuff anywhere else. But yeah, so it's makeup, skincare, body care, yarn, books, except for textbooks, and clothing that I would use in day-to-day life.
How did I forget candles? Oh my god.
So it's $75 for all of those. This month I spent, oh yeah, and candles as well. How did I forget candles?
Great work there, me.
Basically a lot of fun extra stuff. Things that aren't necessarily essentials, basically. $75 to all of those. And including stuff that is kind of essential.
By that I mean like deodorant and like if something breaks. That's all.
This month, I spent $60.54 for a total of 9 items, some of which I'm already done. The stuff that I still have, or at least have the trash of, is right in here. In no particular order, a new bottle of micellar water. It's from Garnier. I use it to take off makeup. Yeah, because that's what you do with micellar water. I was traveling and needed face wipes. These were like $1, so I got these. It's just the Target brand. They got stuff off fine, but now that I'm back home, I want to go back to like the micellar water and reusable wipes because environmentalism and all. I also got a Real Techniques foundation brush on sale, so there's that. I've usually used a foundation sponge, but I wanted to sort of branch out and into something slightly different, so I got the Real Techniques foundation brush instead. I used up my original NYX brown liner, so this is a new one. This is the retractable edition, not the pencil edition, but yeah, so this one is slightly cheaper, so that's why I got that one. And then finally is the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation. The shade I wear is 130 Snow. I also have a Milani foundation it's like 00 BB Nude, I think. The word is nude for the Milani foundation anyway. It's the Conceal and Perfect one. That one is a hair too dark and a hair too yellow. So the e.l.f. one is just a hair too light for me and has stronger pink undertones. So I think it neutralizes out pretty well. I'm wearing both of them on my face today, below other stuff. And then finally, I got deodorant because I needed deodorant because I ran out of stuff. And so things that I bought and then have already used up include a Nature's Wick candle, one of those like 3-tier ones where it's like one layer is 1 cent, next layer is another cent, the next layer is another cent. I use a lot of candles, and so that was done. It was all right, but it burns kind of unevenly and kind of quickly. And I also bought 2 bath bombs as well. I don't use bath bombs all that much. Yeah, I had gotten one for Christmas and then kind of liked it, and so got 2 more and realized that I don't usually take baths enough to justify spending $10 on or $12 on bath bombs. But yeah, so the grand total that I spent this month is $60.54. And again, that was total of 9 items altogether. So the way this project is working is that I will roll over that extra $15, $14.50. I'll roll that over to the next month. So I will have almost $90 worth of flexible money for the broad categories of makeup, housewares, and yarn and clothes. It was a really good declutter month for me as well. I brought in 9 items, but 28 items left in my collection altogether. But that's like old bras and shirts and a couple of old PJs that definitely needed to get donated. A few things that I got in sample size at the end of December, I used up. Obviously, I used up the face wipes as well. Yeah, a couple of old books that I don't read, things like that. After a couple of items, it's been interesting to sort of come up against like, oh, I want that, but do I want to spend that large of a percentage of my budget on it? Like I was looking at maybe getting like an eye and face palette, and I think it was one of the steel ones that was like $40 or $36, $38, right when I had right about $38 worth of my budget left. And so I was looking at it and I was just like, I like this. I'll probably get use out of this, but will I wipe out my budget for the entire month and not save up for some nice yarn use out of it? And so it's obviously I wound up not getting it, but, and it's sold out on Sephora now, but, so I sort of realized that I don't travel enough to justify getting something like that, especially because I have a magnetic travel palette, so it's like I can easily depot the blush I have and put it in that magnetic palette. It's becoming a similar sort of thing for a lot of high-end stuff as well, where it's like, I like this, but do I think I'll get this price tag worth out of it? And I mean, sometimes the answer is yes. If it's something like an eyeliner, certain eyeshadow palettes, yes, I probably would. But I need to keep that in mind going forward, especially with things like yarn as well. So tie-in makeup and yarn, because about halfway through the month I started really eyeing some new yarns because I wanted to make this one really large project. It's the Celestarium shawl, which is, it's this giant shawl. I've already made one already, but it requires 1,200 yards of yarn, and the beadwork is all of the constellations in the northern hemisphere. And so I really wanted to make that, and I started sort of casting on with some old stuff that I had that I knew like the colorway for, and I knew the dyer for and everything. And then I looked up to see how much more yardage I would need. For the yarn I was using, it would come out to, the 3 extra skeins would have come out right at the entirety of the budget, right about $78. It's just like, I love the yarn. It's amazing yarn, it's amazing quality, it's amazing dye jobs, but it's also expensive. So I really do need to work on using up a lot more of what I have before I keep going with buying extra yarn. And I have plenty of yarn, so it's not for lack of trying it, but it's one of those where I have like a skein and a half here and 3/4 of a skein there, and I bought 1 skein to do an edging for my last Celestarium shawl and haven't touched it since. And so it's stuff like that where I just need to contribute a lot to the odds and ends blanket before I can really feel like I can buy new stuff and start new projects. But yeah, so I do need to keep in mind the budget going forward. I haven't gone over budget this month, and I want to keep that energy up going into next month as well. Yeah, so that's all I have to say for now. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye!